chances are that's going to work. Pretty remote. Pretty remote, I would say, but we'll give it a try anyway. We will give it a try. It's 8 o'clock. Here we go. Live now. That's me. Hello and goodbye. Does anybody remember that? Hello and goodbye. That was John Lovitz and Tom Hanks, if I'm not mistaken. I really should get a Starbucks sponsorship at some point. I need to make that happen. It's really dark. I apologize that it's so dark right now. I can hit one more light, but I don't know. But not with any frosting on it. There you go. Psycho Andy's here. Hello, Andy. How's it going? Good to see you here, my friend. Who else is here? Actually, I don't know. And Mary's here. Hello, Mary.
They were here this morning. We all saw them.
And I've got numbers for watching. And Chris. Hello, Chris. And I'm not sure who. Well, everyone's saying hello. Hello, hello, hello. Good. We're all here. Let's do this. Good evening and welcome to Tom Leveen Live. Tonight is going to change your life. I don't know. It might not, but I sure hope it does. I just got to thinking that we have this really great community of folks who, some of you are here every week, for which I'm eternally grateful. And then we get some people who come, every couple weeks or once a month or whatever. But regardless of how many people we have, everyone, and Tabitha's here, and there's Chris Rose. Hello, Chris. I got your email, Chris. And Richard's here. Good. Got to thinking about, first of all, how awesome all of you are and what a great chat you guys have. I have no idea what you talked about last week because I was so busy talking with Frank. I hope you enjoyed the show. I had a really good time talking to him. And I didn't have my laptop, so I couldn't follow the chat, unfortunately. But tonight, it's me, it's you, and I've got my chat, so I can kind of pay a little bit more attention than anything else. So if I should probably, you know what, maybe I should just move this. There's some high-tech stuff there. Hello, Craig. Uh-oh, is Tabitha having, am I too quiet? I'm not really projecting. Let me get my mic a little bit. Maybe, that's really awkward looking. Let's see. So bring this in a little bit, maybe do a little bit there. How about that? Is that any better, Tabitha? Anybody else having a problem? Let me know if you do. I'm sorry, Tabitha. Somebody made a great point about how we should all be learning sign language because it would just be so helpful. This is one of those times. It would be so helpful to actually know some sign language, and I could figure this out. That's better. Okay, good. And Steve, also very low volume. I can't fucking win, you guys. Right there. Did we get chat? Hello? Sibilance? It is a lot better. Okay. I'm also not, you know what, I'm using the directional mic is the thing, and if I don't talk right into it, that looks ridiculous. If I don't talk right into it, that would be the problem. So I need to lift my chin and speak up. What was I talking about? We were talking about Shackled, remember? I don't know. Shackled is our book for the night because I'm curious, those of you who read Shackled, can you tell our viewers, tell our chatters today, what was Pelly's goal? What was Pelly's main goal? Now, the most obvious answer, perhaps, is, well, she wants to find her friend who was kidnapped or believed kidnapped, and then Pelly thinks she finds her, but she's so terrified and panic-stricken that she can't actually take any action, so she just kind of stands there while this creepy old guy makes off with her best friend again, allegedly. So, of course, the thrust of the book is that she is going to go look for her friend and prove that her friend has been kidnapped and all this kind of stuff. And that's a good answer. That's a fair answer. Steve says she wants resolution. Very good job, Steve. Which is not untrue. Also very true. She does want resolution, but there's a very specific thing that she wants, and she gets it at the end of the book. That was kind of her. If you've taken any of my writing classes before, I talk a lot about the actionable goal or actionable need or want, something like that. There's something she wants from almost the very beginning, and while the bulk of the plot, like 99% of the plot, is about the kidnapping and the chase and all this kind of stuff, there's this little 1% bookend on either side of the book that's actually about what she really just very simply wants, and then how she's going to go about getting it. So, she wants to be herself again. That's good. Hey, there's Sam. Hello, Sam. So I just got to thinking the other day. It was like Monday, and I was thinking about all of you and how much I appreciate you being here on the show. It's been over a year now. It's been over a year that we've been doing this, so that's pretty awesome. I'm happy to be here. Now that most of you are here, also let me take a moment to say A, thank you. B, if you haven't subscribed for some reason, please hit the subscribe button right now. Do that, and then click the little bell so that you get reminders and notices. I'm gonna be I still have plans to upload a lot more fun, cool stuff about writing, and then some other topics. So be sure to subscribe. If you haven't yet, please send the link to friends, family, post it on social media, do whatever. The goal, the membership drive goal here is to get to at least, to start, the first goal is to get 100 subscribers, because at 100 subscribers, I can change the URL to actually make it personalized, which would be very cool, and then it makes it a little bit easier to find. It's a little bit easier for marketing and branding purposes. So we're almost there. We're at like 76 or 77 right now, so we're so close. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Please invite others, encourage them to subscribe. I don't care if they tune in, they just have to subscribe, right? You don't got to read the book, you just got to buy it. Got to thinking about how great it is that you guys have developed this community during the chats. I'm really, really impressed. I hope you are too. I love the attitude and the tone and the kindness that I see, the support that I see extended in the group during our time together. So I thought, what would be really cool, and maybe it's going to blow up in my face, I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to see if we can do some actionable goals, some actionable things like I try to do in my writing. What's the thing that we, hang the plot on? So, Sam's here. As you already yeah, Sam, no, it kind of, it is, but there's a whole, it's a different URL thing. I'm still researching it, but don't ruin it. Just get me to 100 subscribers, Sam, would you please? Can you do that? Thank you. So, it's kind of a free-for-all tonight. I don't have any particular topics. I do have actually a couple things that I want to start with to get the ball rolling, and then you guys just jump in. Basically, the format is this. If there's anything at all, that you feel comfortable talking about, something, a goal that you have, a dream that you have, a hope that you have, an aspiration, something that you aspire to, and you're having trouble, or it's not going as quickly as you wanted, or whatever, anything like that, we're going to just be kind of a crowdsource show tonight and say, hey, this is what's going on. Does anybody, maybe you'll make a connection here. Maybe there's somebody here who's like, oh yeah, I totally do macrame or whatever. I always default to macrame if you haven't noticed, because I think it's a funny word. But maybe somebody has an idea or a thought or just some encouragement. Maybe you just need somebody here on the show tonight to be like, hey, you got this. Don't worry about it. It's good. I don't know. We're just going to see what happens. So as always, during the chat, feel free to spin off and go your own directions, have your own conversations. That's totally fine. I'm going to address things kind of one at a time as I see them pop up. The two things I want to start with, though, to get the ball rolling, number one is this. I was talking to my friend, I think I can call her my friend, Sarah Tarkoff, who wrote, oh, actually, I've got her book right here. There she is, Sinless. Here's her book. Very good book. We've been emailing back and forth. This is, the second book in this trilogy just came out. She's a very, very lovely person, and she also writes for television, and has a fairly prestigious job in television. And as we were talking it was probably a couple months ago now, over at the Poison Pen, and I was talking about how I had written a pilot episode for what basically is Party, the novel Party, to develop into an hour-long drama for like the CW or whatever, which was very fun, and I think it's pretty good. I had a manager that I was working with in LA. I was paying him, by the way. It wasn't like I was working with a manager because I'm cool. Like, no, I was paying him, so I don't want to misrepresent myself. Anyway, thought it was pretty good, and so I was talking to her a little bit about that, and she said the following. Um, she said, "Well, what do you want?" And I was like, And she says, "No, what do you want to do? Like, what's your goal? What do you want to do?" And honest to God, people, for all of the shit that is written on my whiteboard and scattered around the house, all of my different notes and post-its and shit that's on my phone and everything, I was like, things. Like okay. I want to get staffed on a TV show. How about that? Like I was literally like just guessing when she asked me that question, which is weird because as my wife can tell you, um, I tend to be pretty going on. I'm always chasing one thing down or another. But it occurred to me as I was getting ready for the show tonight that my answer the last several months, if not years, has been okay. What do you want? Got it. I want to get paid to write or to. I want to get paid to tell stories. I don't care what form it's in. Television, movies, novels, comic books, stage play, whatever. I want to tell stories. I want people to pay me, preferably enough that I can make a living. Doesn't have to be $1 million, but just enough to make a living because I'm not making a living right now. I'm getting paid sometimes, but I'm not making a living. So, okay, that's a good goal. That's a good goal. Great, cool, awesome. Sounds good. Looks good on paper. But saying it like that is kind of like saying, I want to go on vacation, which is great. No one's going to argue, yeah, go on vacation. Until somebody says, cool, where do you want to go? And your response is, well, I want to go on vacation. And like, it's just this circle, like, yeah, but where? What do you want to do? I want to go on vacation. You see what I mean? Like going on vacation doesn't mean anything unless you have a specific place you want to go or thing you want to accomplish. So for me to say I want to tell stories and get paid, like cool, good for you, bro. So what? Lots of people would like to do that. What makes you special? You know what I mean? And I end up with this shiny thing syndrome where I will literally, I'm chasing down dollars. I'm just, if there's a buck over there, I'm going to chase it down as best I can. And that's not what I want to do. So I need some clarification. I need to clarify for myself what I'm going to do. I'm not going to hog the night talking about myself, though. That was just something that kind of came to mind. Trying to find the one thing, maybe two things that I can just focus on and get done and do something with. That's kind of been my thing. So anyway, and Steve says I still cannot answer that question. Yeah, there's probably a lot of us here, Steve, who can't, but we're gonna try tonight and see what we can do. And Danny's here. Hi, Danny. Good to see you here. So, Chris, I believe Chris Rose is still with us somewhere out there. Saw him just a couple minutes ago. So, Chris Rose, those of you who've been watching the show for a while, may remember Chris as being the magician, the sorcerer, if you prefer, on the show several months ago. In fact, the magic playing card is still on my ceiling, where it belongs, where it will stay for the rest of my life, if all goes well. But Chris brought up an interesting, there he is, an interesting conundrum. I'm going to go over to my email here. I think I can remember enough without going to my email. So Chris is a magician, and he is working on building, I'm going to try to do the short version here, a group of other performers and magicians to go to perform for the armed services, which Chris had the opportunity to do, I think, about a year ago or so, Chris? Didn't you go to, where did you go again? I don't remember where you went. I want to say Africa, but that doesn't seem right. But Chris has experience doing this and really enjoyed it, and now wants to kind of grow a business out of it, which I think is an awesome idea. The problem, he has everything lined up, essentially. Things are looking good. He's got the people. He has the contacts. It looks like this is something that could really take off and be a great new or additional career for him, which is awesome. The problem is he can't really move forward without a name. He needs a name for the group, for the business, for the company, because and I'm familiar with this myself, without the name, you can't do branding, you can't do marketing, you can't get business cards made, you can't do URLs, you can't do, you have to have the name. The example that Chris gave me in an email today was the Blue Man Group. Okay, Blue Man Group has become its own thing. It's definitely its own brand, and when you say it, most people know what you're referring to, even if you've never seen the performances. I've never seen Blue Man Group. I actually know somebody who was in it, but I've never seen it. Um, and so there's an instant recognition and brand recognition and all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. So he's been looking for a name. So if somebody has a great name, you probably don't have enough information to work with right now. But if somebody thinks of something, by all means, spit it out. Um, oh, there we go. UAE, Bahrain, Africa. Okay, yeah, 16-day tour in August, year and a half ago. Okay, thanks, Chris. Um, so if somebody had an idea, that'd be great. Go ahead and spit it out in the chat. But what Chris was asking me about, and I think is more to kind of the point tonight, is how do you crowdsource, get the brain power behind something like that to kind of come up with a business name for all intents and purposes, because it has to be catchy, it has to be accurate, it has to be probably fun, but also be taken seriously. There's all these different things that you have to do, and he had in his email to me talked about doing like trying to hold a contest, for example, which is a good idea, I think. And there was one website, Chris, that you mentioned. I don't have up right now. Something Squad, I think. That's probably not right. But another one was Fiverr. Fiverr presents a difficulty because Fiverr isn't really built to run contests, right? And the other problem, as I'm sure many of you understand, is money. Like, with enough money, you can hire somebody to just brainstorm names for you or whatever, and that's great. But of course, being an entrepreneur like myself and like many of you, um, we're bootstrapping it. Like, we don't just have $200. Like, $200 to a lot of businesses isn't a lot. For us, that's a shit ton of money. That's a cell phone bill for the month. So trying to find a way to crowdsource a business name on the cheap, but still get some really good ideas. I think that's, Chris, does that sound like kind of the rough idea anyway? Um, so if anybody has things that suggestions or ideas on how to go about doing that, now would be ish. Okay, thank you. I'm doing my best with it. As the night goes on, and that's the other thing. As we're doing these things, if you come up with something from like 30 minutes ago, just tag somebody and throw it in there, because who knows where that may go. I have no idea. But it is a conundrum. It's a problem because it has to be right. I've gone through several different names. I can't tell you how much money I've spent on various URLs over the last couple years, just trying to find, like, oh, it's Fiction Mentor. No, wait, no, now it's this, now it's that, and even trying to get a mastermind together, to get a group of people together to kind of talk over things, has proven to be extraordinarily more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I did read a book once, Chris, and the rest of you, if this is helpful. Squad. Oh, so it was Squad. So there's this. Okay, so Squad Help is the other site Chris is talking about. I did read a book. I can't remember if it wasn't Big Magic, so it might have been. I think it was Do Cool Shit was the name of the title. Was the name of the book? Anyway, but in one of the many business books I've been reading this last couple of years, somebody talked about, like, throw a dinner party, whether it's catered at your house, you make it yourself, or you go to a restaurant, whatever you can afford, potluck, whatever, but get a bunch of people together who you respect and admire and whose opinions are valuable to you. Have a big party and sit them down and say, here's what my plans are, and you kind of unveil your whole business to them, and then throw it open and let people tear into it and jump in and argue and fight and encourage and just have a good time with it. And I thought that would be such a fun idea, and I've been meaning to do it for over a year now. I'm coming to discover that getting even a few people together for one night is tiring. If I can get a few people together for a night, that means I'm playing Risk over at Jason's house or something. You know what I mean? So, but cool idea. It's still a very, very cool idea. Let's see, tuning in for our business right now. Yeah, Richard, absolutely. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, Richard, right now, I can tell you, with no censorship whatsoever, that as long as nothing goes wrong, my company is funded through June, which is a windfall, lately speaking. I'm funded through June, but if I don't make any money between here and there, then I'm out of money in June, which is how I've been living for fucking, I don't know how many years now. It's like paycheck to paycheck takes it on a different tone when you don't have a regular paycheck, right? It's a very, yeah. Fortunately, Joy works, so that's happy. and we have medical insurance, which is, if we didn't have those things, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. But yeah, $200 working capital for the business. It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Um, let's see. Oh, hey, Alex, good to see you. Yeah, welcome. And again, if anybody has other stuff that you're working on or goals that you're trying to, and seriously, whatever. If you like, I think I put in the video, like, if you just want to finish a 5K, that's a goal. If you want to get off the couch and walk around the block, that's a goal. Whatever. Do a marathon. Cool. Um, anything at all. It's fair game. So feel free to jump in at any point in time, and we'll see what happens. So, what else are we talking about? So, Muffin Palooza was a failed attempt at a pyramid scheme. Yes, I would say so. Muffin Palooza was pretty awesome. I gotta say, I had a really good time. For those of you who weren't there or didn't know about it, Muffin Palooza was my. Ooh, I should tell you guys, Laurel, who was the Muffin Palooza chef, or baker, chef, cook, whatever, has launched a new program called Learn Dinner. Oh, God, it's good. Joy, if you remember, if you can find it and put it up, I don't remember what it's called now. Um, Easy Dinner. Anyway, she's starting this online business where she's teaching people to cook without recipes. Basically, it's really cool, and she has got a great eye for. She's an artist by trade, and then has developed this whole cooking thing. It's really cool. So hopefully, so keep it. Dinner School. There it is. Thank you, Joy. Yeah, Dinner School. Look up Dinner School. Probably on Facebook is a good place to start, because I don't know if she's gotten into the Google algorithm yet. But yeah, she and I have had many discussions about just business stuff and trying to figure out branding and marketing and all that kind of stuff, because it's so, yeah, it's such a pain. So Chris, I feel your pain. I really do. And it's a great question. How do we do this? Do this crowdsource thing? Let's see. So the group would go across the seas to perform for the military. I think so. Let's see. There's an email. Yes. No, I'm just staring at my goals. I suck at asking for help. We know, Mary. We know that you suck for asking for help, but give it a shot. Actually, like, what do you have to lose? I mean, everyone's friends here. You know this group. You're like one of the founding members. You're one of the first Musketeers. So just throw something out there and see what happens. I don't know what your goals are. I have no idea. What are your goals? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this last week, but Mary, those of you who, or Tam, as you might see on your chat, Tam is also Mary. Mary sold what? Are you up to 7 books now? Did you just sell like 7 books this week? Cheers. Holy shit. That's awesome. And they were mostly paperbacks, were they not? If I'm not mistaken? Sam, I distinctly said Mouseketeers, so just FYI. So yeah, everybody give Tam/Mary a good high five there in the chat for selling books. That is so awesome. Ooh, contacts at, okay, so see there, I like we have contacts at Luke Air Force Base. Who knows? Maybe something comes out of that. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but it's really cool. It's really cool to know. This is getting exciting. Yeah, 7 books in the last 30 days with no marketing. Yeah, and 3 members for a Patreon pay. Like, those are not bad numbers at all. I would, trust me, I've had many weeks where selling 7 books would be fucking outstanding. So I think that is fantastic, Mary. Congratulations. Because you work hard for that, right? We all do. I was actually watching a webinar today on Stage 32. They were talking about screenplays and making it in the movie business and all this kind of stuff. And one of the guys, and it's common knowledge, but I think we have to remind ourselves. I have to remind myself is there's and I don't know who said it first, but this idea of it took 10 years to become an overnight success. That kind of thing. It's so hard to remember that. They referenced, and I don't know her name, the woman who is now playing Captain Marvel. Right? That's a thing. That's a movie that's coming out. Anyway, so that actor, there's all these people, there's millions of people who are going to see her for the first time in that movie and be like, oh my gosh, overnight success. When's my turn? Blah, 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 which is something I say all the time. And these guys are like, the people saying that don't realize she has been in this industry since she was 6. Or like 10, whatever. Like, as a very young kid, she's been making movies and doing the auditions and, breaking her back in this industry, trying just these little incremental steps to try to make it. And now she's here, and everyone sees her, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, overnight success," and it's like, no, not even close to overnight success. We only see the tip of the iceberg, right? So yeah, Mary, that's why you deserve all the congratulations in the world because I've written a couple of books and I know how hard it is to sell 7 books. It is hard to sell 7 books. Trust me, I know. Um, and nobody sees the work, or the maybe Richard and Joy do, but we don't ever let them into the room. So yeah, nobody sees the work. Nobody sees the work. Anyhow, oh, what's we've got some went months without selling a single book. It feels amazing. Good. I'm glad it feels amazing, Mary. It should. I'd love to get my kids' books published. Any ideas? Yes, Tabitha. We can. Brie Larson. Thank you, Andy. Yes, and Steve. That's it exactly. Um, so the children's book. Yeah, books they've written or books have children's book. Tabitha, are they picture books like readers like I don't know, like are we talking like children's books like board book type things, or are we talking like a middle grade chapter book? In order for me to help, um, anyway, I would need to know more a little bit more like that. Okay, more like the like picture book stuff. Okay, so and again, everyone feel free to chime in. Picture books. Okay, so I have done one picture book with Amazon connected to my Mr. Tom persona, which I will be telling you more about in the days and weeks ahead. Um, I have a whole separate channel for the Mr. Tom show, which is going to be my online version of the story times that I do at Changing Hands. And I wrote a very, very simple picture book and published it through Amazon through CreateSpace, which I don't think exists anymore, but you can still do that. When it comes to, I'm actually also launching a class very soon about this very topic. So sign up today. Um, the first thing you have to ask, Tabitha, is what do you want? Because there's a world of difference between I just want grandma to have a copy for Christmas and I want to be on every Barnes and Noble in the country. Very, very different things. And neither one is better or worse than the other. They both have their good parts and bad parts, believe me. Um, so that's the first place to start. What is the thing that you wish to accomplish by having the books published? Um, I do know. Now, I've never published, I've never like traditionally published a children's book, so I don't know that much about it. What I've heard and what I understand is that it's extremely competitive to do it traditionally, to get an agent and all that kind of stuff. Um, but people do it. I mean, it happens all the time. So, short version is if you want to go traditional, like and be published with a like a Random House type of publisher, then I'm going to send you to, and this should work hopefully. I'm going to send you to agentquery.com. One word, agentquery.com, and that is a free site. You can enter search terms like picture book and see get yourself a list of what agents represent picture books, and then start going. Just click on down the list and find agents who represent picture books and see what their requirements are, and go from there. That's a huge, awesome resource that I still use myself. Agentquery.com, best place to start. Um, that will tell you a lot more than I can tell you, other than you have to know kind of what your goals are. If you wanted to go the self-published route, which is also perfectly fine, then actually Mary would know probably a lot more than than I would about that, frankly, because I've only done the one and it's not my forte, and I don't know. Um, but there's all kinds of places to get help for that. So if you want to know more about that, let us know. All right, everyone's been talking, which is great. Are we talking? Yeah. Oh, okay. So Andy, yeah, talking about Brie Larson, yeah. But a lot of like what these guys were saying is like the world in general. Like you're Andy, you're gonna know that stuff, right? There's not that many of you by comparison, compared to the number of people who are going to see her big film now because like it's the thing to go do. You know what I'm saying? Like people who are not, they're not fans. Like Andy, you and I think probably most everybody who comes to anything that I'm doing is a fan kind of at heart for something or other, versus the number of people who are going to go see it's Captain Marvel, right? I think who are going to go see that aren't fans. They're just going to go and eat popcorn and laugh and then go have Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? They're not like fans. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't. Did she win? Yes, she did. Right, she won. She won. Didn't she just win this like last week or two? Let's see. Best act. Oh, a year ago. Okay, thank you, Joy. Oh, for Room. Right. Okay, that's good. Um, that's kind of easy. Okay, so then yeah, Mary's coming back with the self-publishing. Um, it's kind of easy. It's not simple. The difficulty comes, Tabitha, again based on what you want. If you're going into it, expecting to make money, you a lot of money, you might want to readjust your expectations. I have certainly had to do that. If on the other hand, like you're just passionate about it and it's something you want to see out there, and that if something great happens, super, then that's always an option. The thing about self-publishing is you are a publisher at that point, and everything is up to you. The interesting thing is, even if you go with a traditional publisher, if you're able to score, Simon and Schuster, whoever, it's still going to be all on you. That's the thing. That's the thing that nobody talks about, and that's why I'm doing an entire course on things people don't tell writers before they publish. Things like it's still going to be on your head to do the marketing and to find the fans and to have the presence online and all that kind of stuff, because 9.9 times out of 10, the publisher is not going to do any of that for you, and no one is telling you that, and it drives me crazy because nobody told me either, and it's just maddening. So anyhow, it's just weird because Chris Evans, Brandon Ruth were both in Scott Pilgrim. Oh yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, yes I do. Okay. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim did not like the box office on fire. You're absolutely right. Oh, it was the same day as the Expendables? Yeah, Expendables was going to win that every day, and twice on Thursday, for sure. Actually, and yeah, Mary, 9 times out of 10 is optimistic. It is probably closer to 1 in 1,000. Yeah, that's probably true. I was trying to be nice, but yeah, you're right. um, it's obnoxious, but it's true. It's true. Um, so anyhow, Tabitha, I hope that was helpful. Again, agentquery.com. That's the best place to start. Go from there. I hope someone got fired for suggesting that release date. Who knows? Who knows? Um, where was I going to go with that? Oh, yeah. So, good. Thank you, Tabitha. I'm glad to hear that. Um, no, we're not going to talk about that. I can't. That's still a surprise. Is it? Actually, no, it's not a surprise at all. So, here's something. Um, some of you have read the post that I linked from Slate about this author who pulled his own book. Um, I don't want to get into that tonight. I don't have the I don't have the bandwidth and then I'll start knocking shit over. Um, but then there's other opportunity. It's not even an opportunity. Maybe it is. I don't know. Came up, and I have this story, and Andy, this is going to start to sound familiar, and why I was doing Facebook messages with you this morning. This opportunity, if you can call it that, for a story that I wrote years ago, and have refined and revised and all that kind of stuff, and just have not been able to fucking sell. So I've got somebody interested, perhaps, in this book, but they want me to change the genders. They want me to make the protagonist, who is a girl, I think 11 or 12-year-old girl, into an 11 or 12-year-old boy. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's one of these things where first of all, no money has changed hands. If money had changed hands, if I had signed a contract and there was a check in the mail, I would be having a very different conversation. That hasn't happened. And so I'm kind of like, I don't think, and so far, no one, and I mean no one, has thought this was a good idea. People familiar with the story, I've talked to librarians, I've talked to booksellers, I have talked to best-selling authors, I have talked to not best-selling authors, and just people who know me, and I have yet to hear anybody say, oh yeah, in a heartbeat, bro. Like, no one is saying that. I've had one author be frank and say, is there money? And I'm like, nope. And he was like, well then, I think you know the answer, and he's right. He's absolutely right. Which I guess just brings us to the question of what. Okay. Sam has solved my problem. Sell your soul. I actually do, Sam. I have no problem whatsoever selling my soul. Tabitha, the reason they want to change it is they believe, and maybe they're right, but I don't think so. They believe that it won't sell unless it's a boy. It's an adventure science fiction with giant bugs and shit, and they believe that in order to market it, in order to merchandise it, and all this kind of stuff, in order to sell it as a comic book or a series or an animated show or whatever, that it needs to be a boy because only boys will do big bugs and all this kind of stuff. And honest to God, my feeling when I hear that is, have you read the paper? Like, do you not see where the winds have been blowing for several years now? Where our culture is going, where it's headed, where it's fucking been for a long time? Nobody just would talk about it. I just think it's the wrong idea. Um, yeah, it's funny. Exactly. Um, I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up on where you guys are. um, Well, okay, so wait, Andy. So you're working at a disadvantage, Andy, because the script that you have is the switch. That is the switched one. I started writing rewriting the manuscript with the genders reversed, the way they asked. So you're not having unless you're talking about the book, unless you've seen a copy, and you may have, I don't remember, of the actual prose manuscript. The comic script, the genders are flipped the way I was asked to do. So you're coming at it from a different place. But that's why I sent you the message that I sent you this morning. Like, is it too late? Can we maybe switch? Because now I want to show them how fucking cool it would look with the goddamn girl being the fucking hero the way they fucking should be. I feel like Lewis Black right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god. Who. Kids don't give a shit. They don't. And I can't. Somebody on Facebook, and it might have been one of you, I don't remember, forgive me, said that that boys aren't who are reading books aren't going to notice or give a shit whether the protagonist is a boy or a girl until the parents say something about it. If mom and dad swoop in and be like, well, that's not a boy book or whatever, then okay, now it's a thing. But any kid who's a fucking reader doesn't care. I have a 7-year-old who's a fantastic reader. He's in first grade, and he's at, what, like a third grade level, fourth grade level, something like that? Unsurprisingly, I do say so myself. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Is it a cool story? Are there giant fucking insects? Badass. Done. So frustrated. Anyway. um, so, yeah, Tabitha. Anyway, to answer your question, that's why. That's why. Let me skip up ahead. Mental health reasons. Oh. Yeah, I understand that, Mary. Um, too many times I understand. Sell your soul. Okay, hold on. I think the thing for me that's really tough as an illustrator. Oh, here we go. Is knowing that's what I want to do, but the lack of actual work and money just reinforces a sense of, well, I guess I can't. Yes, Alex. Oh my God, preach it, brother. Um, so, in terms of selling our soul, here's the thing. Have I done stuff for money? Absolutely. I have no compunction about that whatsoever. And I think I've been upfront with you guys about that. If somebody called me up tomorrow and was like, hey, we'd like to purchase an option for zero or sick or random or whatever the hell, and here's, $1 million. Like, where do I sign? Take it. I don't give a shit. I would do it for a lot less than $1 million, folks. I would do it for a lot less than $1 million because I just want the money because I want to pay bills. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that in my mind. So, speaking as one professional artist to another, there's nothing at all wrong with doing something for the money. I don't care. It's totally fine. But then there are other times when it's like, dude, you're just wrong. And maybe you're not. You're the publisher or you're the boss. You're the whatever, and you've got the marketing machine behind you, and maybe you've done focus groups. I kind of doubt it, but let's just say you have. Then okay, you're coming from a different place than I am. Maybe you know more about it than I do, but wow, I would just think at some point somebody somewhere would be like, ooh, that sounds like it should be a boy, or whatever the change is. I shouldn't have even brought this up. I'm sorry. The experience more comfortable feels like it would be such easier, but don't actually know because I've never been there. Well, hang in there, Alex. Don't give up. Well, that's the other thing. Um, make them gender neutral. Yeah, Tabitha. Funny thing about that. So, um, and this kind of goes back to the article that I posted and the state of publishing. And I really shouldn't even talk about this, but I love you guys and I trust you, and probably nobody else is watching, so it's okay. Um, Here's what happened. Yeah, Tabitha, to your point, when Hell World came out, I got a review that was actually fairly positive considering the publication. Um, that made it a point, for reasons surpassing understanding to me, made it a point to say characters are not identified or not cued racially, implying a white default. I haven't read that fucking review in 2 years and I still remember the phrasing. That's exactly what they fucking said. Characters are not cued racially, implying a white default. Okay, let's hold this little gem up and examine the angles, shall we? Had I made all my characters white and said they're all ethnically European, white, whatever, how popular a choice would that have been? Probably not very. That might have been a bad choice on my part. Rightfully so. That it would be a bad choice. Okay. So instead, all right, well then I will make some of the characters ethnically different and diverse. That's a good idea. And then you get accused of tokenism. And then you get accused of, well, you don't understand about ethnicity this or gender that or whatever, so you have no right to do that, which is what this article was about. Okay, so looking down the road, seeing that that's what was going to happen, you know what I did? I said, fuck it. I'm not even going to identify anybody by anything. I'm not going to say what they look like at all. I'm going to let their actions speak. I might talk about what they dress like, but that's it. And I'm going to leave it to everybody else. I'm going to leave it to the reader to take in and choose whatever it is, because it shouldn't matter, right? It's not supposed to matter. And the moment I do that, I get hit with implying a white default. Here's another angle, though. They're right. That's the bitch of it. As much as that particular line of that particular review haunts me to this day, the shitty part is they're still correct. Currently, culturally, it does imply a white default. And that's fucked up. It's not my fault, in my opinion, but it's fucked up. Um, so, I don't know that they needed to bring it up in the review, but they did. Whatever. That's not why it hasn't sold. I think there's a lot of reasons it hasn't sold. Number one, nobody knows it exists, so that's a problem. Um, but anyway, Tabitha, gender neutral doesn't matter. I tried that in another book you might have read called Mercy Rule and got raked over the coals for it. With the character who I did not identify. I identified gender but didn't identify sexuality, preference, or whatever you want to call it, and I got nailed for it. And I'm still pissed about it. And I still don't give a shit. I wouldn't do it any differently. I still think it's bullshit because that's not what the fucking story was about. I'm sorry. I hijacked this entire night, you guys. We're supposed to be talking about you. God damn it. Have you considered making the main character trans? No, I haven't, Richard, because I don't know about that. For whatever reason, and we've kind of talked about this before, for whatever reason, I write real. I'm just finally after 10 years starting to own it. I write really good girls. I don't know why. I do. Look at Zero, Morrigan. If there's a badass punk chick in a book, I'm the guy to write it. I have no idea why. Not a fucking clue. It's just what I do, and I'm trying to think, like, of all the various negative reviews I've gotten, I do not recall any of them being that I shouldn't have written a female perspective point of view, or that I did it badly. Most of the reviews I get, particularly for books that are so female based, like Zero, are women asking me, "How the fuck did you know this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." Versus a trans character, I mean, I could. I think I could do enough research and emotional memory work to write it, but I don't know that I would feel comfortable with it because it's just not something I'm familiar with. That would be for me. That'd be too far out my wheelhouse. But it doesn't solve the problem. It's not something that would be. I also can't tell if you're kidding. You might be being sarcastic. I'm not sure. But and this is the thing, and I have a feeling you guys are already saying this in the thing in the chat. It shouldn't matter because that's not what the story's about. Here's a pop quiz trivia. Actually, not quiz. It's trivia. Did you know? Those of you who've read Party, remember Party? There are 11 chapters, 11 points of view. Did you know there was a gay character in Party? Because there is. You know why there's a gay character in Party? Because my editor asked me about it. She was like, "Is everybody here straight?" There's like percentage-wise, statistically, none of these kids are gay. And I was like, "That's a good point. You know what? Yes, I will make that change. I'll make that amend. You're absolutely right." So I did. But I virtually guarantee you, I bet nobody can guess who the character was. I'll even give you a hint. It's not a point of view character. Wait, hold on. Let me retract that. Is it? It's been so long since I read the fucking book. I don't know. Maybe it is a. Do I have a copy of Prime? I don't know. Oh, here it is. Let me double check. Sorry. Look at my. Let me double check this. I stand corrected. There is a point of view character in Party who is gay. Does it fucking matter? No, because it had no fucking bearing on the story whatsoever. It's there, but it doesn't bear on the story. That's why. Wow. Okay, what are you guys talking about? No, just the stuff you sent me last week. Okay, sorry. Girls don't want adventures with bugs. Oh, gosh. They're not aware that Alita Battle Angel is winning the box office right now, that Captain Marvel's... Yeah, Andy, that's exactly what... so many people have said that. Some of my author friends have said that. Like, are you not... How they could miss that, I don't know. Bug ladies are the new big thing. Well, fucking here's the thing, Sam. They're gonna be unless I get in there first. Some other motherfucker's gonna fucking do it, and then I'm gonna be out. And I'm gonna be sitting... I've had this goddamn manuscript for like, 4 years, 5 years now. And everyone's like, well, you need it. It's got, well, we can't sell it to a female. And that's the other thing. That's the other thing I keep getting told. I can't get a female agent to sell it, and I have to have a male editor to do it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? If the book sucks, fine. Say that. I'll tell you right now, frankly, I'm not sure I can sell it because I think maybe I got the tone wrong. I'm not sure. I can't tell anymore. I'm too close to it. If the writing sucks, cool. Say that. But this, it's got to be a boy thing, is ridiculous. Anyway, nobody cares what gender the main character is. Of course they don't. These are the reasons I'm glad I went self-published, because that sort of revision would have my blood pressure back up. Yeah, it does. Marion, that's exactly what I'm going to be teaching in my upcoming course about things that they don't teach you before that. Clearly, you've already figured it out. Yeah, I think a lot of people are frankly going to self-publishing for that very reason. Now, of course, a percentage of that is going to be assholes who want to write vile things, and they're free to do that. Like, go ahead. But there's so many stories, you guys, that I have notes for. I think it's a thriller. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to tell you about it because I'm really excited about writing. I think I might write it as a screenplay, though. I haven't really decided. So there's this guy. I'm going to pitch you right now. There's this teacher. I think he's going to be a drama teacher. I haven't decided, but a high school teacher. And he's accused by a student of sexual assault. And he says he's innocent. And it ends up going to trial, but he's found not guilty. Of course, him being found not guilty doesn't mean shit. Once you're accused of something like that in that position, like, you're fucked. You're not going to go back and work at that school or probably any school ever again. So his life is essentially over. And then he sues the family for defamation or whatever the hell. I haven't figured out the details. But anyway, so that happens. That's the backstory. Then one day he's at home and this teenage girl who he's never met shows up at his door, and she's like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I am writing a research report or some kind of argumentative paper about your case, and I just want to tell you I know you're innocent." And he's like, "Fuck, whoa," and she kind of worms her way into his life to interview him and talk to him about what happened and all this kind of stuff. And then some things happen that I don't want to say on Facebook or on YouTube, excuse me. And she ends up blackmailing him and saying, and he discovers that her whole friendship was a complete ruse, and she is now going to blackmail him and threaten him into paying, like, for school and all this kind of stuff for all this money that she thinks he has. and I know what the ending is. It took me I've been sitting on this story for several years now, and just within the last month, I finally realized what the ending of the story was going to be, and it's a sucker punch. Um, but can I write it? Am I allowed to publish it? I don't know. I might publish it myself, or I might make it into a screenplay and let somebody else deal with the fallout, because there are so many great stories out there. There's a great, oh my God, this show, I think we've talked about it before. I wish all of you could have seen the Is What It Is theater production of The Woodsman. It was a movie with Kevin Bacon originally. Well, first it was a stage play that turned into a movie with Kevin Bacon. Nobody saw this movie, but it's about a child molester. And right off the bat, if that turns you off, if you're like, I'm done, cool. No, I would never ask you to change your mind and watch it anyway, okay? But holy shit, what a great fucking show. Unbelievably amazing show, and not enough people fucking saw it. That has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, what are you guys talking about? I am totally... I keep doing this. I feel like I keep inviting you over, and then I do all the talking. I'm sorry. Okay, and... Ooh, what's Andy saying? Whoever made up the idea of an artist selling out being a problem was someone who didn't have to worry about money. I think you're probably right, Andy. And even if you're not, it sounds good to me, and I'm on board. Selling out is such a... Yeah, God, we could do a whole show about that, right? Like, so many bands and actors and artists in general get slapped with that, and it's like... Shut the fuck up. Like, I gotta eat, you know? If in a perfect world, we have universal income, and we could all do finger painting all day and whatever. But you know what? We're not. And until that happens, I gotta fucking feed the kids. Is that so fucking wrong? No, it's not. It's not wrong. Can you still, Andy, I think you can sell yourself out. I think you can... Yeah, I mean, I have taken jobs, I've taken writing jobs recently, where I was selling myself out for sure. But the money was really good, so I did it. You know what I mean? And now it's feeling better to get back to, you know what? No, I could beg and plead and kick and scream and try to get that gig back maybe, but frankly, it wasn't, I don't know if it's worth it. I think you can do that kind of selling out, but the kind of selling out we're talking about, I think in that broad sense of like, oh, Metallica, they sold out. Like, fuck off. They make music. They're a band. Shut up. Just let them do their thing, okay? They're all 80 years old. Anyway, Mary says you have to know where the artistic integrity line needs to be drawn for yourself. Absolutely, Mary, you do. I don't know where mine is. I kind of make it up as I go. I'm so... I don't have the strength. I often joke about Ham's book sales in terms of what fast food we could get. Yes! Hope to get to the Chick-fil-A level instead of Taco Bell. That's a very good metric, Richard. I mean, it's sad, but it's really true. I shit you not. Just this past week, you guys, this is how well I'm doing financially. Just this past week, I was trying to figure out the math on how much each individual wing at Safeway would be, each individual chicken wing. Turns out it's about 88 cents, which is not bad, because usually wings are about $1 a piece, so I'm saving money by going to Safeway, right? I only had $4. No, that reviewer is not right. I'm sorry, this is probably an hour ago. Have it be a girl who ends up being a freaking Johnny Lean bug. It's their problem and their bias. Yes, it is, Andy. It is their problem and it is their bias, but they're the ones buying the fucking books. That's the problem. And here's the other fucking thing, and Joy talked about it on the I'm sorry, here I go. Publishing in particular is owned by old white guys who hire mostly white women. That's not my fucking fault, but that's the structure, folks. You might want to look at that structure instead of attacking the fucking author who's like, I'm sorry, I wrote from a Chinese female perspective for this book. Dude, I've got this, that's it, like, I'm so... If you follow the thread on my Facebook page, all of the authors who chimed in, most of them anyway, are like, we're fucking just feeling paralyzed, particularly in young adult. It's also happening in science fiction. I don't know if fantasy too, probably. Although those are slightly different issues that those guys are having, but still, like just this absolute fucking paralysis. I've got these cool characters in my head that I was so excited to write, and now I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I really don't know if I'm allowed to do that now. maybe I shouldn't do this. And then I'd start, well, okay, I'll write something else. I've got a whole list of ideas. Surely one of them is safe. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Um, so, Andy, you're absolutely right. But those people with those biases are the gatekeepers. And they're scared shitless. And here's the other problem with that. And I think we've talked about this before too, is eventually that fucking pendulum is going to swing way the hell the other direction. And then all the people who were marginalized for the last fucking 200 years are going to be marginalized again because the fucking, because of the. Anyway. I'm sorry. Um. Metallica sells out every concert they perform. And that's fine. They're allowed to do that. They're still here, so they can do that. Selling up by ghostwriting or cranking out romances, that's one thing. Yes, killing your vision because someone thinks your target audience is stupid, that's something else. Damn it, Mary. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but you're right. Um, Hilda Fisher, once upon a time, I went to school to be a teacher. I like teaching, but in a more informal setting. Bingo. Yeah, me too. If I can mentor teach within my role without it being the sole job, I'm okay with that. I could not agree with you more. Yeah, never. I actually had an opportunity just within the last couple weeks to apply for a theater teacher position at a high school. And I looked into it and I went all through the website and I talked about it with myself and I paced around a little bit and ultimately I was like, I can't. I can't do the full time teacher thing, man. Like, Scottsdale Community College, on it, not a problem. But full time, like high school, grade school, no. Nope, can't do it. Um, yeah. Cussing my publisher. Thank you, Danny. I'm not surprised you do. I'm not surprised you do at all. And you probably cuss really well. I don't know if I've ever heard you cuss, though, Danny. We should amend that. By the way, now that Danny's here, for those of you who are in town, Danny and I are going to be doing a workshop at Poison Pen in, what, April or May, I think? I don't remember. Danny, if you have that information, just put it up here so that everybody knows to come. We'll start marketing that right now. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be free. It's a free class. We just ask that you buy one of my books and one of her books. So that's a pretty good deal. It'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, have you heard of free arts? No, volunteer doing reading art. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Tabitha. The options are to write a story and deal with people being asshole reviewers, or we just get no new stories at all. Well, Andy, yeah. Look at fucking Hollywood. Is that not what we're getting? I mean, what was the last? I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't see movies very frequently. So maybe there is cool stuff out there, and I assume there is cool, newer, exciting, breath of fresh air type stuff coming out on different platforms that are probably not playing at Harkins. I'm assuming, but aren't we already there? Like, you know what we haven't done yet? Gilligan's Island. When is that remake coming up? Like, Jesus. I don't know. Maybe you mean something different, but that's what it feels like. April something. The world needs more cussing. Yes, Alex. God, fucking A, it does. I can't. I feel. Here's the thing: is regardless of whatever else happens tonight, I'm gonna feel so much better because I said all this shit. Because it just. I will tell you this story, as this has all been happening. Because I don't remember if I've told you before. I've tried not to because I didn't want to get in trouble. And I should really probably try to get in more trouble. I'm probably more successful when I get in trouble. But all this stuff has been happening, particularly as it pertains to race and sexuality, particularly as it pertains to young adult fiction. And the first thing that I started noticing was that, and it's true also in the writer's room of television shows right now, I'm told. Don't know if it's true, I'm just told that it is. Being a straight white male, not a lot of jobs open in writing for straight white males right now. And I was so angry, right? Like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't do anything wrong. What the fuck? I didn't. It's stupid. I just want to write. I just want to tell a story. Why is that so wrong? And a few minutes later realized, oh, so that's what that feels like. Because there's a reason. It doesn't make me feel any better because I want to work and I want to tell stories and get paid to tell them. But the reality is, there is a reason this shift has happened. It's because people were not being represented by these professional industries. Now, they were free to self publish, but up until fuck what, Mary, maybe 10 years ago, that wasn't really viable. And if anything, it would make it worse because self publishing was so, you know, poo pooed by the professional industry. It still is. That's probably going to change one day, um, but you see what I'm saying? Like it was just this ever so brief moment of, oh shit, that's what they feel like. Whoever they is are, that's what they've been dealing with their whole lives. Okay. Um, Again, it still feels unfair because I don't feel like I did anything wrong. But yeah, something needed to change, and it is changing, and that's good. I cannot and will not stand in the way of that. If me not having an agent or publishing young adult fiction for a while other people are coming in, okay, I can do that. I mean, shit. I can write in other genres. I can make movies. I can write comic books. I can, whatever. Um, but it was a really, I believe it was a very clarifying moment to realize. You know what I'm saying? And I hope to God I said all of that well and correctly. I hope my intent was clear there. Um, the flip side of all that too is this idea of, oh, I can't remember what it's called now, but like the idea that there isn't room for everybody, because there is. Like that, because, and I struggle with this a lot because of the way my brain works. That like, okay, if you get a movie deal as an author, well, now I can't because you did. No, that's it's zero sum. Is that what it's called? That's not how it works. Because you got a publishing deal, or you got a movie deal, or you got a comic book doesn't mean I can't. That's not how it works. This particular industry, traditional publishing, seems to be responding in that way that, well, if you are X, you cannot do this anymore, or you're not welcome for the time being, or whatever. And it's like, no, we need more of everybody, which a lot of people on my post said, I think. God, this is not where I wanted tonight to go. I'm sorry. This is not what I had in mind. Chris, I hope we find you a good business name. Did anybody find Chris a good business name yet? Oh, Christ. Where do we go? More cussing, yes. We're back up to more cussing. Zero stories. Books, any movies, etc. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Danny. April 7th at 12:30, Poison Pen. Writing authentic teens. Ooh, but are we? I don't know, Danny. Are we going to be writing authentic teens? I don't know. Remember the movies? Make them new. Okay. Legos. Okay, Sam brings up a good point about Legos. Oh, and I cuss in his lab because, and I look at him like he did, I look at him like I did something wrong. Oh, that's good. So that's what that feels like. Yep. So yes, Alex, it was. But here's okay. But Alex, the other part, there's like I said, it's a fucking. It's not this way or this way. It's a fucking diamond. It's a fucking gem. There's so many aspects and facets to look at. The other side of it, though, is what happened to this guy, who was one of the people, presumably, and I'm not familiar with him, but who was presumably trying to do the right thing prior to writing and trying to publish this book, and then the very people he had previously been helping jumped on him and scared him to death, and so he pulled his own book. And it's like, you guys are eating yourselves to death. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not going to say it. But this is the thing. This is the danger, is that people who are trying to be allies or trying to be helpful or trying to be a part of solutions, this is what happens. And it's like, fuck, well then I'm going to stay home. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And here's the other thing, and I think Andy has probably already alluded to this, is it's such a small group of people, but they are vocal and they have taken over the conversation and they own it. And everyone's scared, you know? And I would love to see some publishers in particular stand up and be like, yeah, I heard you. That's a good point. That's very interesting. We should have a discussion about that. Still going to publish the book, though. That's what we're going to do. But they won't because they have shareholders and shit like that. And it's all about the money. It's all about the business. So they got to do what they think is, whatever. Um, but these are these are also the same people, and I'm speaking broadly here. These are also the same people who took a book about an African American girl and said, well, we can't put her on the cover because it won't fucking sell. The publisher said that. That's a real fucking thing that happened. We can't put her on the cover because it won't sell. If they're not going to pony up and be the tip of the spear, I don't know. No idea, Tabitha. Yeah, I think you just show up, Tabitha. I don't know. Thank you, Joy. Yes, Amazon did flip the switch for self-publishing for good or bad. Yeah, we don't know yet. For some people, it's been great. For me, it's been shit. But then I haven't. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to Amazon, is I haven't done. I don't believe I've done the work that is required to make it successful yet. Because I get the shiny thing. Like, no, I'm gonna do this. No, I need an agent. No, I'm gonna write a movie. No, comic book. So it's just I'm all over the fucking map because I want to go on vacation. Full circle. Um, let's see. Yes, there is no competing against other authors. Yeah, absolutely, Mary. You're right. You're right. Um, yeah. Who the hell still reads Dead Trees Are for Nerds? Sam, if you were anybody but Sam, I would be so pissed right now. But since it's you, it's okay. um, oh no, Sam, it's true. No, you're okay. We everyone knows that. I apparently am. I'm certainly 16, occasionally 12, mostly 16, and I'm not entirely sure why. I have some theories that I will be sharing with you once some of my family has died off. Because I can't do it until then. Oh god, that's gonna be a fun night. Oh, that is gonna be a fun night. Um, I feel so bad. No, Sam, you're good. Uh, Dude, the whole Manic Pixie Dream Girl thing, you've got so much leeway with me right now, you have no idea. Um, write the book, whoops, oh, what's going on? Write the book you want, roll the dice, and take the chance. Don't try to please everyone, just joy. Oh, that's good advice, Richard. Um, here's life goal. How do I stop being mean? I don't know, Sam. I haven't seen you be mean yet. At least not here. You might be mean on Twitter, but you haven't been mean here. So I don't know if I have any advice. If anybody has any advice for Sam on how to stop being mean, please feel free to chime in. I saw Greg here in a second. This is also just one scenario, not necessarily the majority, or certainly not the rule. No, it's true, Greg. I mean, you're right. Um, but it is representative. If you're talking about the thing on Facebook that I posted, it is very representative of what's happening. If you don't believe me, I can send you over to my former agent's site, and you can scroll through and see who they represent. And if you want to go ahead and count for me the number of white males that they're representing, right around the time this started happening, not pointing any fingers, I'm just saying timing was interesting. Uh, but not that I'm going to do anything about it. It was just interesting. That's all. It was just interesting. But it is representative of this particular industry and specifically this particular genre, which is so wrong because we should be having these conversations instead of letting Twitter people take it over. That's fucking bullshit. We should be publishing everything. Just put it out there and have conversations about them. I don't know. Anyway, what? Series happening more than one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, not the exception by any stretch of the imagination. Not the exception. Yeah. Um, yeah. You'll be there, Sam. Trust me. I will let everybody know in advance when the truth comes out. So Tom is 16. I'm like 40 or 50. We should start with that at our time. We should, Dan. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Then do your best to keep putting out the best beat and putting out the best person you can be. I don't know if I can do that, Greg. I'm so tired. I don't want to be the good guy. I swear to God. Like, and I think I've maybe brought this up before. Like, I feel like my next query letter to an agent should be, listen, my books suck, but I've never sexually assaulted anyone. Like that's a big selling point. I'm a dude who has not assaulted anybody, so how about a book deal? You know, I mean that's what it fucking feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god. Anyway, seems like risk comes in too many forms as long as the companies let risk present itself in all those ways. If only they'd learn how to deal with the difficult stuff instead of avoiding it. Alex, boom, absolutely right, absolutely right. And I think there are probably companies who do, but they're not the ones. They're not like the big ones yet. But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Um, Not that it doesn't suck from time to time. Yes. Uh, Wait, that guy you posted about seemed to be toxically attacking other authors, though, so it seemed like karma to me. Yeah, Craig, that's what I took from it. I don't know if you read Bill Konigsberg's comment about that. He knew the guy, so that might be a different perspective. Um, I'd have to go back and read it. That did at least seem implied in the article, um, so I'm not sure. Um, yeah, I hesitate to go to go down that road because God only knows who's watching, right? But for me, the thrust of it was more about the fact that it was killed before it was seen, and that he felt compelled to take it off the market. Yeah. And it was, I mean, it was, but again, but that's the thing. We should be having a discussion. We should be having this discussion. That's exactly the point. So yeah. Thank you, Greg. I know you do. Alex, race and gender are hard conversations. Publishers have the balls to be embraced instead of like, yeah, no, it's true. They're, yeah. Again, you're right, Alex. I think. I'll totally skin the bug manuscript for you. Oh, I can be honest sometimes. I've heard that about you, Sam. I've heard you can be honest from time to time as the situation presents itself. Huge selling point. I'm all in on a lack of sexual assault for where I want to spend my money. Right, Mary? Like, that's what it feels like. That's what it fucking feels like. Like, just all the. God. I wish. I wish I could say that I was a saint. I'm not, and I never have been. But wow. Because at that point, then it becomes okay. So the writing sucks, and you know that. You know that whole fucking head game, changing the tapes issue that I have. Because what else are we supposed to think? Like, well, if X, Y, and Z has happened, clearly, I am. You know, if I am the X factor in all of this, so it must be me. You know how that goes. Um, how come some unknown author is getting shut down for trying to do the right thing, but known journalists like Drake and R. Kelly are still held up, or domestic abuse? Chris Pratt? Yeah, Andy, I don't know. I'm not even going down that road. I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, Mostly because I don't keep up with the news enough. All I read is the headlines, so I vaguely know what you're talking about. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Chris, how's the business coming? Did we solve your did we solve your crowdsourcing problem? I am so sorry. This is not at all what I had in mind when we started tonight. But I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you stuck around. That was pretty great. Um, yeah. So on that note, that's what's going on. There's so much more that's going on. I need to. I feel as though I should pick something and kind of stick with it, and I'm so bad at that right now. I've been floundering so bad for the last 3 years and making terrible choices. Maybe not terrible, but not good choices over and over and over again. And I wish. Not, no, I don't want to say wish. That's not. Wishing is not a business plan. Um, I would really like to take more extreme ownership of myself and some of these decisions I've been making creatively and business wise, and maybe get something done and say, fuck it. That would be great. I think that would be super. Unfortunately, so far to date, fuck it has not paid many bills, so I don't know where that leaves me. We'll have to see. Um, yeah. In the meantime, in the meantime, dead air. Uh, Danny and I again will be doing a show. Excuse me, not a show, a class at Poison Pen. We'll keep an eye on your all of your social media and stuff like that. We'll be letting everybody know about that. It'll be a good time. Definitely be a good time. And we don't really know what we're going to be talking about. I mean, obviously we have the whole how to write authentic teen, so that'll be fun. But we're not really gonna do too much planning. We're just gonna kind of dive in and see where it goes, which is the most fun. Probably do a lot of Q&A, which is also fun. I've been talking about this course that I'm gonna do. I frankly don't know if I'm gonna launch it or not because I feel like a weenie. Even though I think it's important topics, but I don't know. I don't know. It feels weird. So I'll let you guys know if it actually happens. Um, what else? Squirrel. Yeah, squirrel. Bad choice bandwagon. Wow. That's nice. I like that. And oh, hello, Dana Lynn. um, because I have an authentic teen. I don't know authentic teens. Then it would blow my whole. I have to set them in the '90s because I don't understand what these kids today are doing. So I have no idea. Um, Dana, where are you, Dana Lynn? Like that you're showing up at the end. You always show up at the end, Dana Lynn. Come on, you know better than that. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. So to come back to our original topic, hello, Dana Lynn. I'm glad you're here, but you got to show up at the beginning. Come on. Um, Despite the fact that I completely hijacked my own show tonight, my apologies. I do hope that whatever goals you have and things that you're working on, things that you're thinking about, you will take the time and give yourself the time to go after them, please. I know I say that a lot, but I feel like I need to keep hearing it, and I think people need to keep hearing it from me and from you, um, from each other. Because, yeah, like, I'll be honest, for a change, I was not a Luke Perry fan. I wasn't like, woohoo, Luke, hey! Like, I didn't give a shit one way or the other. But he's gone, and he was 52. 52, that ain't shit. That is nothing. That's fucking scary. And it was one of those, by all accounts, it was one of these, like, it's not like he overdosed in front of the Viper Room, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just doing his thing, maybe making plans with his kids, and now he's not. And that really fucks me up, to be perfectly frank. That kind of shit just keeps me up nights, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. That literally keeps me up nights. Um, but it also motivates the shit out of me. It makes me feel like, okay, well then, what am I going to do today? Can I go to sleep tonight, whenever that is, whether it's 9 o'clock, which would be great, or, 1 o'clock, which is not so great, because Sarah wakes up at 3. Can I go to bed tonight and go, okay, is there anything I would have done differently? Is there anything I would have done I wish I hadn't done, or something I could have done differently, whatever? And you know what? The truth is, most days, if I stop for a second, which I don't do often enough, if I stop and think about it, the answer is yeah, it was a good day. It really was. I wish my brain knew that. I know it. I don't think my brain is caught up to it yet. Um, but most days, I did pretty good. I did all right. And not to compare myself to anybody else on any category, because I got to do this. I got to talk to you guys tonight. Um, and I got to see a webinar about writing movies, and I got to work on a novel that I may try to pitch to an agent, or I may not. I may self-publish it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But it's a really good book, and it's out of genre for me, and I'm excited about it. And I got to. I don't think I can really announce it because it's not a announceable thing, but I get to work on a nonfiction book with for somebody, with a couple people actually, that is just a really cool thing. It's just a really cool thing, and I need to remember that kind of stuff. I think we all do. Anyway, so now I'm getting maudlin, and you guys probably want to go to bed. So, um, I'm teasing you, Dana Lane. It's okay. I'm just glad you're here. You have an exam tomorrow. What exam? Life goal. I just don't want to be the reason my kids go to therapy one day. That's a pretty good goal, Tabitha. I will sign up for that one. I mean, they're gonna go in sooner or later, But what can you do? You love them, you take care of them. Yeah, you'll be all right. Trying to argue with that goal and failing. Very nice, Sam. You're not alone in the Luke Perry thing. I wasn't a huge fan, but dude, yeah, that reminder. Yeah, My heart. Yeah, yeah. Me too, Mary. Um, for sure. Strategic management. Yeah, I like that's a good term. I like that, Sam. Strategic management. I'm also a big fan, of course, of the whole extreme ownership thing. I think that makes a lot of sense. No excuses. There's so many people I want to be angry. I'm still angry at, but then trying to back up and say, all right, but what could you have done differently, Tom? And that sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the day. Um, but yeah, again, the reality is most days are really functionally okay. Not playing as many video games helped. And I don't. That's the thing. I never play a lot of them, but just enough to irritate the shit out of me. Like, stop. It's those minutes add up and it drives me crazy. I think we should all go to bed. It's late, and I again appreciate you and thank you all for sticking with me tonight as I went all over the damn place and yelled and screamed and bitched. But damn, it feels good. So I guess that's okay. At some point, I was also thinking about doing it tonight. We're obviously not going to do it tonight. At some point, I would love to have a family meeting with you guys and figure out where to go from here, because there are some practical business things happening, or in my case, not happening, that I could use some help on, and advice and stuff like that. So at some point, maybe we'll do it on an off night, like an invitation only thing. I don't know, but I could really use kind of a family. Bang our heads together kind of thing, because I am just going in circles here and I need some help to stop. Um, so we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Um, let's see. No strategic management is the class. Oh. Sorry, Sam. Oh my gosh, that's great. I'm sorry. Strategic management. Anyway, um, oh, so Shackle, did you get the answer from the start of the show? Yeah, we'll come. We'll end on that, Steve. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you, Mary. Sorry, not Mary. Dana Lynn. Um, yeah. Now you don't. I'm pretty excited. Oh, and that's the other thing. So I found a narrator for Heartless. I really like her. I think it's gonna be really cool. Hopefully that will be here before Phoenix Comic Con, or what was once known as Phoenix Comic Con. Yeah. Can we stop at the Serenity? I just want the Serenity. Nice. Hive Mind, bring it. Yes. My son's starting serious. Oh, I have not seen that, Sam. Um, yes, good. Chris, yes. Richard, still waiting for the million details of being business to stop so I can focus on the business. Yeah. Oh, God, Richard, I know, dude. I know. I feel like I don't regret any of the stuff that I've read, but now I'm starting to think, like, Jesus, like, that's all I've done. And at some point, and Jocko talks about this, like, you just have to move. When you have a 90% plan, 90% is good enough. You have to move. Otherwise, you just sit there. And I've been doing a lot of just sitting there, like, well, I'm going to read another book about this, and then I'll read this. And I've been reading fucking business books, marketing books, managing books, creativity, but like all this shit. And it's like, cool. Have you made any fucking money? Have you done anything to advance the goal? No? Then do that. So I understand. I totally hear you, Richard. Um, I need a business card. um, awesome. Okay, so what does Pelly want in Shackled? Pelly wants to go back to school. That's her overarching goal from page one. We may not, she doesn't necessarily talk about it in page one, but from beginning to end, what she wants is to be able, physically and emotionally, mentally able to attend school again. That's it. That's the entire thing that the plot hangs on. But it's actionable. That's the point, is actionable. So I think we need actionable goals. I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to go to bed. Who am I fucking kidding? I never go to bed on Wednesday nights. I'm going to go see if I can come up with some actionable goals. And thank you all for coming tonight. I'm sorry, once again, that we didn't do what I'd set out to do, but whatever your goals are, please go after them. And yeah, if anybody has any other suggestions or ideas for Chris on how to best crowdsource some business names, leave a comment in here and we can come back and check. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. I think most of you have by now. And if anybody has an interesting idea for a topic for next week, let me know, because I have no idea what next week is going to be. I usually don't know until Monday. So if anybody has any ideas, leave a comment, send me a message, whatever. That would be cool. thank you for being here and for being a part of this. I just want, I mean, I've told you guys, I want peace for me, for you, for the entire world, and I think it's possible. So let's go do that, I guess. Yeah. Go leave a review on Amazon. You guys are fantastic. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe, and may you be peaceful and at ease. And I will see you next week. Thank you very much. Or I'll just sit here and talk to you for a little bit longer because I can't shut it off. Let's try this. There it goes.